So what would you say if you found out that the bank couldn't foreclose on you? Now, I'm not saying that's a fact, but what I am saying is that there are things that you can do to make it very hard for them to do that. I'm Casey, and we are in power. It seems more and more that we have the situation arising that is modern banking colliding at train speeds with state property law. Corners being cut. The problem is that banks have turned your mortgage into a financial product, bundled it, sliced it, and sold it, passing it between trusts and investors. That is called securitization. But it seems that they have gotten sloppy with the paperwork, and that matters in court. So in court, foreclosure under the law isn't about who thinks they own your mortgage. It's about who can prove it in writing. And even if the bank holds the note and says they own your mortgage, but in the USA, if they cannot show a valid assignment of mortgage before the sale, they do not have the authority to foreclose. Not after the fact, not we'll fix it later, not trust us, we own it. Nope, they have to prove it at the time that they take your house. Harvard Law actually broke it down really, really well and made it really easy to understand the process, stating that there's a difference between the mortgage and the note. The note is the debt, and the mortgage is the legal interest in your property. So simply holding the note does not give the bank the authority to take it and foreclose. That right comes from the mortgage. And that mortgage has to be transferred properly under banking and property law, not banking shortcuts, and definitely not internal systems. But here's where it gets interesting. It suggested that perhaps some mortgages have been foreclosed upon, not taking or using proper channels or proper documentation, which means that this is perhaps not a one-off, but is something more systemic, allowing financial institution to prioritize speed and volume over accuracy of documentation and legal compliance. The real question becomes not if or whether you missed a payment, but can they, on paper, prove that they have the right to take your house? And if they can't prove it, then they do not have legal authority to foreclose. Of course, the average person doesn't understand. They trust, they believe, they think that there possibly couldn't be. Hokey pokey going on. If they're doing it, they must be allowed to do it, right? Wrong. That's wrong. Wrong. Just because they're doing it does not mean that they're allowed to do it. We are accountable as well, and we need to start standing in that power. Asking the questions, taking the action, making it real uncomfortable, and making them prove that before they stroke that sale document and take your family home from you, that they are in fact allowed to do it. Now, although this is information in the United States, Canada is very similar. And if a bank cannot provide the wet signature document, well, there's no contract, no document, no contract. And the UCC in the United States is very closely aligned with several other countries, including Canada. So now this, of course, is not legal advice. This is educational purposes only. But this information is out there. It's not hidden. It's not buried, although they'd like you to think that it is. They would like you to think that there is no reason to go searching for this information. Sadly, we are in a place right now, friends, that we have to second guess everything. Find the information. And if that means falling down some rabbit holes, then let's start reading between the lines. This is Casey, reading between the lines. And you should too. No one's going to protect us out there. We need to do this, and we need to learn how and know how. Thanks, guys. Now, if you like this content and the information I bring to you, then please subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and let's just start asking questions. And education and knowledge is power. Thanks, guys. Until next time.